We're here to officially kick off the fiscal year 2025 budget season. It's an exciting season, one we say that never truly ends. It's an ongoing process.
Palm Coast Acting City Manager Lauren Johnston referring to the importance of the recent City of Palm Coast Special Budget Workshop. Karen Johnson has our lead story.
The City of Palm Coast held a special budget workshop on Tuesday, marking the beginning of the fiscal year 2025 budget season. In addition to the budget recommendations was the introduction of the 10-year capital improvement plan with a highlight on infrastructure. Palm Coast City Council member Nick Klufus.
With strategizing and formulating the most critical components of our infrastructure that need improvement for the potential of catastrophe. When we're talking about drainage improvements, these are things that, fortunately, knock on wood, we've been able to see through storms where we need improvement in our systems. You guys have been able to identify it. Now we're identifying funding sources all the way through implementation. And I think if we're listening to the sentiment is that we need to be able to allocate more funds to continue to keep the roads at the level of service that we expect in Palm Coast.
And Councilman Klufus thanked the Utilities Department for a job well done this past year.
As far as our utility is concerned, I think you have identified the absolute most critical improvements that are planned in a timely manner, and I think you guys do a tremendous job with that. I have no qualms at all. Over the last 8 years, you have been tremendous to work with.
Other city leaders stated we remain dedicated to providing the highest levels of public safety and quality of life to all of our Palm Coast residents. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Wednesday, March 27th. Officers from the Bunnell Police Department, along with deputies from the Flagler County Sheriff's Office, have apprehended another individual linked to the shooting incident in Bunnell on March 16th, which resulted in severe injury to an innocent bystander. Following thorough investigation, Bunnell Police Department detectives secured an arrest warrant for a 17-year-old Palm Coast resident. Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputies executed the arrest on March 25th. The juvenile faces charges including carrying a concealed firearm and discharging a weapon in a public setting. 23-year-old Antarius Henderson was the first suspect arrested. Henderson discharged his firearm into a crowd after a physical altercation, resulting in critical injuries to a 19-year-old bystander who was struck by two of Henderson's shots. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. The See Something, Say Something tactic proved to help nab some criminals in Flagler County last weekend. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
We appreciate the community when they see something suspicious to let us know. One of the arrests was a driver that appeared to be acting and driving very erratic and appeared to be under the influence. Not only was he arrested, but he was found in possession of fentanyl. He's a frequent flyer to the Green Roof Inn. He's been to prison. He just can't seem to turn his life around. So he's back in jail where he belongs. Maybe he feels at home since he keeps returning. In another case, eyewitnesses in a real-time crime center led to the arrest of a hit-and-run driver that had struck a car in a parking lot and failed to stop. She was also taken to the Green Roof Inn. And again, another See Something, Say Something stops the drunk and unlicensed driver on I-95. We appreciate our residents for engaging in guardianship policing so that we can help together make our community safer for all.
Last weekend, Flagler County Sheriff's deputies made 17 arrests, handled 654 calls for service, and made 126 traffic stops. Is negotiating a realtor's percentage negotiable?
Flagler Association of Realtors President Eddie Marsal said that even before the National Association of Realtors lost a recent lawsuit.
But it's always been negotiable.
Yeah, it's always been negotiable, but after the lawsuit, the NAR forbids you to put the amount of that split on your MLS.
On your MLS.
Marsal had a little help from program host Toby Tobin here. The two agreed that realtors could put their negotiated compensation split on other websites, just not on the multiple listing service. You can listen to Real Estate Matters with host Toby Tobin here on WNZF on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock or anytime on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, trying to explain commissions to the non-real estate person. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.